Hey everybody, John Clark here from privatepracticeworkshop.com. Thanks in advance for being here, and I'm excited to kick off another live Q&A call. So I've been doing these the past few weeks or so. They've gone really well. We've had tons of questions, and it's been a lot of fun to get to know you guys, most importantly, especially having fun with some of you repeat Q&A attendees. It's been a lot of fun to work with you guys. So basically, I am here for maybe about 30 minutes to answer any questions you have about private practice, about online business, about maybe you're starting your own YouTube channel, or maybe you want to start an online course or a membership site. Maybe you're just now starting your private practice or growing into a group practice, and anything like that. I'm here to help. So a little background about me for those of you who maybe haven't kind of met me before, so to speak. My name is John Clark. I'm originally from Virginia, though in 2013 I moved to San Francisco for the first time and started my first practice there. I realized I'm a therapist. I'm an LPC, or in California it's LPCC, and I realized early on that I really liked business. I like business more than I thought I would, and maybe more than a lot of therapists tend to like business. So I kind of leaned into it. I started learning a lot, and I kind of taught myself everything along the way in terms of starting a business, creating a website, getting clients, getting traffic, running ads, managing finances, growing a team, hiring, things like that. And so I just kind of taught myself, and along the way grew and grew. At this point, I've had 5 or 6 businesses, including 3 practices. I'm on my 3rd practice right now. My second one was a group practice in Charlotte, North Carolina that I sold. I've run a VA company, a virtual assistant company. I've run a digital marketing company. And at this point, I run this company, Private Practice Workshop, along with my actual practice, my growing group practice, which is called Calm Again Counseling. So that's a little bit about me. For the past few years, I've helped therapists all over the world grow their practice. We have a popular podcast called Private Practice Workshop. You can look that up on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. This YouTube channel is growing like crazy and has grown a lot over the past 12 months or so, and I'm super grateful for that. Those are the main places to find me. You can also find me somewhere on Facebook too, but between the podcast and here on YouTube, those are kind of the main places where I hang out these days. We've got a number of paid programs that you can learn more about at privatepracticeworkshop.com. So by all means, head over there when you get a chance to learn more about our paid programs. And if you're interested in working with me, then that's a good place to find out more. So, all right, just waiting on our first question here. And as the questions come in, I'll start answering them, and we'll go from there. So I will say, we just recently published a new video on this channel about the difference between insurance versus cash pay practices or a private pay practice. And what I tried to do is, first of all, explain that there's not a clear answer for everybody, right? It's a very nuanced question in terms of cash pay versus insurance. And I want people to understand that first and foremost. It's a decision that's highly individual and depends a lot on you, your market, your goals, your income goals, your operating expenses, your vision, your mission and values, everything. It has to do with a lot of different things. So you can't just answer it in a blanket statement. So again, if you're interested in learning the pros and cons between insurance-based practices and a cash pay practice, then that new video on our channel is the place to check that out. Yeah. So yeah, again, just waiting on my the first question here in the Q&A. You can ask them in the comments below, and we will get this thing going. Yeah. Yeah, and I'll also say, in terms of the cash-based practice or private pay versus insurance-based practice, again, there really is no right or wrong answer. I definitely want, I definitely want you to understand that you have to answer that question for yourself. I can definitely help, or someone like me can definitely help in running you through some questions and scenarios, but ultimately you will make a decision that is good for you and your business and the unique variables that you are in fact, working with. So just understanding that in any question around business and your business, there is no clear answer. There's no cookie cutter kind of format for anybody. And so you have to understand that a lot of times the questions you have about your business are very nuanced. And in order for someone like me, a business consultant, to help you with your business, I need to ask a bunch of questions, right? And get enough context into you and your business in order to be able to accurately answer your question. So yeah. All right, here we go. We finally got our first question. So for those of you that are just popping up, definitely throw your questions there in the chat and let's get this Q&A going. First question, I'm assuming it's Yasmin. What type of health insurance are offered in private practice? I'm assuming you're talking about what type of health insurance is offered to clinicians if you work at a private practice. Is that what you're asking? Maybe let me know in the comments. I'm going to assume that's kind of your question, and I'll start answering it, and let me know if I'm wrong. This is something to think about for sure. If you're a solo practitioner, you're going to need to either provide your insurance, in other words, get your own insurance. Otherwise, you're going to need to, you can get your own insurance, or if you have a partner or something like that, you might get your insurance through them. But otherwise, you do want to budget for it. And for most Americans, you're budgeting anywhere from $400 to $500 a month for your insurance. So take that, multiply it by 12 months, and that's roughly the amount that you need to be making up for if you already are used to having benefits from an employer. There's also ways to save on that cost. You can do things like these health savings plans, or health costs like share plans. I'm getting this totally wrong, but basically there are these alternatives to traditional insurance where you are part of like a collective almost. Someone in the comments might know what I'm talking about. It's like, basically you share those costs. Some of them are faith-based, so you want to look into that if that's important or not important to you. But otherwise, they can really save a lot. They could be, $200 a month versus $500. Otherwise, I find that usually, for most people, it makes sense just to pay for the insurance. It's going to be deductible for your business, so it's going to be tax deductible, meaning that'll come directly out of your business rather than paying tax on that money and then paying for your own insurance. So you'll kind of create your own benefits in that way. The other thing you'll want to plan to do is create your own retirement benefit. For a lot of people, this is a 401k, or depending on your income level, it might be a Roth IRA or something like that. You basically just want to talk to an accountant or a financial advisor or both to figure out what is the appropriate account for you, or maybe a couple different accounts for you based on your income level, your personal situation, and things like that. So the main difference is you'll have some accounts that are tax advantaged, basically some where money you'll pay tax on it and then invest it in like a 401k, others where you won't pay taxes on it until you cash it out eventually. So something like a Roth IRA, well, that money will grow pre-tax, and eventually you'll be taxed on it once you take it out and all the growth with that money has happened. So yeah, so it's a great question. Yeah. Good question. Let's see, by Amber. Amber saying, where's a good place to find a free releases of information? This is a really good question. So basically, you're looking for like a form that's fillable and kind of refillable that you can use over and over again with different clients. We actually have a resource for that. We have a product called Practice in a Box. That's a tentative name, where we sell that and about 100 other templates, tools, spreadsheets, things like that are going to be really helpful for you to create all this stuff for your business and just to have everything you need in one place. So that's a one-time kind of purchase that's going to give you exactly what you need. Yeah, cool. Okay, Tiffany says, how do you approach treating minors who have court-appointed attorneys? That's a good question. To be honest, I haven't, um, uh, I haven't done this kind of work in a very long time. When I did this work, I was actually working for an agency, and so that was all very kind of set up for me. Or I worked, with clients and what were considered at-risk youth, and a lot of times their attorneys would be involved, their probation officers would be involved, and things like that. In terms of how you're going to approach it in your practice, I would be very careful doing this work, mostly because it's going to end up being more time intensive than a typical client, right? You're going to end up doing like phone calls with the attorney or the probation officer or whoever. You're going to be pretty involved in doing kind of case management stuff with these sorts of cases. Now, I don't have a problem with that whatsoever, but I you just have to be careful, and you want to bill for your time, like bill for all your admin time. Yeah, so it's fine to take those on. You also might have like a special informed consent for those kinds of cases as well. Yeah. If I were you, I would find a therapist who's doing that kind of work and ask them like what kind of forms they have or what kind of special consent forms they have and stuff like that, and see if you can just avoid reinventing the wheel. Abanti is back. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming again to another Q&A. She says, thoughts on why therapists are so judgy. Saw you reference this in your video today. Yeah, I tend to reference it quite a bit. Hopefully that's not me being judgy about therapists being judgy, but I have some theories about why it is. I think part of it is, as therapists, to be an effective therapist, you have to be sensitive. And that is often used in a negative sense, and that, hey, don't be so sensitive. You're too sensitive, right? It's not a negative thing in that we have to be sensitive to attune to our feelings and the feelings of our clients, right? That being said, I think we can be overly sensitive when we're not in session, right? It's hard to turn that off. So I think we're very sensitive to what other people say. We're sensitive to what other therapists are doing. And I think there's a much broader thing happening. There's a trend where therapists oppress one another. The reason I started this business in 2014, is because I went to graduate school, and in basically day one, they sat us down and they told us, if you're here to make money, help people and make good money, you're in the wrong place. You're going to make crap money for a long time. It's going to be a grind. You're going to be in the trenches, right? Working for an agency or whatever it is. So get ready for that. So I think there's just this history of like oppressing our industry and oppressing ourselves, right? Don't be flashy. Don't charge too much. Don't be too salesy. Don't be too markety, right? Or who are they to charge X, Y, and Z, right? Who are they to have a private pay practice when we're all insurance, right? They should be serving everybody, or they should do sliding scale. So we just kind of keep ourselves down, and by doing this and being this way. Again, I wish I knew why I was. I think it's many factors, but I think we can do something about it, and we can actually work to uplift each other, not judge each other, and to promote our value as an industry, right? So I'm a fan of cash pay practices and high fee practices, because I think people don't value what they don't pay for, right? And if I were to show you two therapists in the same exact city, maybe in the same office building, right? The therapist with the door on the left, their fee is, $75 a session. The therapist on the right, their fee is, $190 a session. What are you going to assume about those therapists, right? You are going to assume that the second therapist is worth more and they're better, right? They're a better therapist. They're probably more qualified, right? People probably like them more. Oh, but it's an investment. Well, it's an investment, and therefore I'm going to show up on time. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to take this seriously, right? A lot of good things happen when you charge more. So I could do a soapbox on that for an hour, but I'm going to spare you guys. Okay, Tiffany, this is kind of a related question on money, so that's good. She says, I've seen your video about how to figure out what I need to charge to make the money I want per year. The dollar amount seems very high. How do I get clients in the door for that amount? Well, how do you get them in the door? The way you get them in the door is not every client that reaches out to you is going to say yes. So you just need to get more leads. You need to get more people contacting the practice. For instance, people are always asking me like, well, how do you market to private pay clients? You don't. No one wants to pay private pay if they don't have to, but they do want the best therapist and the best care. So instead of saying like, how do I market to private pay clients? You need to be asking yourself, how do I double the amount of calls I get per week? How do I double the amount of leads that I get in my practice? Knowing that I find that roughly 50% of leads will convert in a cash pay practice, especially in a cash pay practice where the fee is pretty high on the higher end of that market, or where you're a cash pay practice in a market that's mostly insurance based. So you have to think about that as well. So how do you get clients in the door? Well, you need to have really good marketing, crystal clear messaging. You need to have a very specific niche, great website, compelling copy, very nice images, professional headshots. You need to be able to state your training really well, make sure you can show them how qualified you are, have specialty training and things like that. So you kind of have to look at the whole package. It's going to come down to your ability to market yourself, right? And market yourself online. For that, we have our fully booked program. You can learn more just go to our homepage, privatepracticeworkshop.com, and then click on the free training, the link for the free training, or just scroll down and you'll find a link for the fully booked free training. That's a good way to learn more about fully booked and our process. And that's kind of my flagship program. We've had over 200 therapists go through that program, and it's changed a lot of people's lives. So I'd love for you to join us. Yasmin is asking, how do you figure out your niche? Yeah, that's something we actually help you with in fully booked as well. But I'll say broadly that, how you figure out your niche is in part, it's in part going to come down to an intersection of your interests and what the market wants. So I will say a lot of it has to do with also just the market that you're in. So for instance, if you are in a market that is big, where there's a lot of therapists and a lot of people, a lot of big population, somewhere like I live, like San Francisco, it's going to make sense to niche down, right? It's going to make sense to be more of a niche practice because there's so many therapists here, right? If I'm in small town Ohio, right, I don't need to niche down as much. It might be okay to just be kind of a general practitioner. So a lot of it does come down to the market you're in. I think that's probably the biggest thing. Yeah. Okay. Amber says, do you think online therapy exclusively will increase your clients since I'm not able to offer to the entire state? Can you clarify your question, Amber? I don't totally get it. Do you think online therapy exclusively will increase your clients since I'm not able to offer to the entire state? Yeah, since I am able to offer to the entire state. Okay, I see. So you're able to offer to the entire state. So do you think that offering online therapy will increase your clients? It could. It could if you start marketing in other places. So what I would do is maybe you live in a city, or town, and you might start by running Google ads, for instance, to that town, right? To your immediate town, your immediate surrounding area. From there, you might say, okay, I found some ads that work. I figure out how to do this. Again, this is something we teach in Fully Booked. And then you might just expand to the next area, to the town over, right? Online therapy to the town over. And then to the other town over, to the whole region of your state, and then to the whole state, etc. You can do this. Just keep in mind you have to be really savvy with ads, because especially when you look at ads that are specifically for online therapy, the cost of those ads is very competitive, and it's being driven up by these companies like Talkspace and BetterHelp and all those lovely people that have tens of millions of dollars of VC funding. So just know that you'll probably be competing with them. Yeah, it's a good question though. Other questions, guys? I'll be here maybe 10 more minutes or so as long as we have questions. But yeah, we're getting some good ones today. Before I forget, I do want to make a pretty big announcement actually, and tell you that we are excited to launch our new memberships program for this channel. So I'm actually about to make a post here on our channel, or kind of a members only post. Okay, here we go. So now what's going to happen is, I believe if you go to any of our videos right now, I'm actually going to turn this on right now. So we have memberships available. I just turned it on. go to any of our videos, and there should be a join button at the bottom of our videos. That join button then is going to show you exactly how to join our memberships for this channel. Yeah, so if you go to a video, go down, click join. We are super excited to show you guys, we have these 3 membership levels. So if you've been enjoying this content or you're enjoying it now and you want to give back to the channel, you also want to get some exclusive access to me, then joining the channel is a great idea. So even at $4.99 a month, you're going to get exclusive monthly Q&A calls with me where you can come and ask me anything. At the platinum level, you're also going to get access to a Slack channel that I'll be on, and other community members from this channel, people that follow this channel will be on. So check that out. It's our new membership program. Really exciting, and just going to be kind of a fun way to give back to you guys. So hopefully you guys will join and help me grow this channel. It's gonna help me to keep growing this channel for sure. Yeah. Amber says I can use the word remote therapist instead. Yeah, why not? That being said, therapy is changing in a dramatic way. COVID has accelerated the adoption of online therapy, but I think online therapy is here to stay. Well beyond COVID, many clients will choose to stay online. Many therapists will choose to stay online or do a hybrid, of that. So that's going to be really interesting to see. I think, yeah, even when people are fully vaccinated and everything, the benefits of online therapy are tremendous, and you're just going to see a lot of therapists that are, staying online, right? The convenience of it, not having the overhead of an office, things like that. It's going to make a lot of sense. And then again, all the conveniences for the clients as well. And going back to Amber's point, the ability to serve an entire state. Years and years ago, like 2015, I got word that there was a client out in a rural part of North California where I live now, and she had OCD, and no one in her town could treat OCD, but I can. I've been trained in that. It's something I can treat really well, and so I was able to work with her, online, back on Skype or VC or whatever I used back at the time. So it's kind of cool. It's going to majorly increase your impact and your ability to work with people. Or if you have a client move to a different part of the state or to a state you're licensed in, maybe you can keep working with them. That's a really powerful thing. So, or maybe you do some hybrid where sometimes you see them online and then every 3rd or 4th session they come in person. That could be really cool too. Maria says, that's awesome, John. We'll join. That's awesome. Thank you so much for joining the membership. I'm excited to get this thing going. Abanti says, do you think the demand for therapy will continue to increase? 100%. We are literally at day 1. We're at ground zero for, I think, the next real epidemic, which is the next pandemic, I should say, is mental health, right? There's going to be ripples and ripples and ripples from COVID that go on for years, if not generations to come. People with newfound depression, anxiety, OCD, substance use, social issues, right? There's just going to be so much happening and a lot of suffering that's going to just keep going on and on and on. So I almost guarantee you there's going to be a supply and demand problem for therapy too, meaning there's going to be more people, more consumers that want therapy than there are therapists. This is going to be a major problem if it's not already. So if you're in training, you're going to be into a very in-demand industry. Also, combine this with huge companies are valuing the mental health of their employees now more than ever. So there's companies that partner with big like tech companies and corporations to do things like to provide therapy for their companies. So companies like Modern Health and Lyra, those are companies that are providing therapy to big companies like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all these people that work out here where I live. So we're just getting started with mental health. The demand is going to rise and rise and rise. It's going to be tremendous. I think it already is tremendous. Therapists are also more than ever they're at risk of burnout too. So you guys have to think about that as well. Yeah, major kind of risk of burnout. Yeah, it's a really good question. Amber says, which EHR do you recommend? I recommend Simple Practice. I always have. This is what I've used for years. To me, it's clean, simple, it's reliable, it gets the job done. It's the most user-friendly EHR that I found. I have used some others as well. Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a really good platform. I've used it since about 2013. So yeah. Looks like, so if you use my link for Simple Practice, we each earn a $50 credit to Simple Practice. So that's pretty cool. I'll put a link here in the comments, Amber, if you want to try that out, or if anyone else wants to try out Simple Practice with my link, then there you go. Yeah, so it's a really good question. Yeah, she says, do they offer a telehealth component? Yeah, they do. So you can actually do your telehealth sessions directly through Simple Practice. It's all HIPAA compliant, encrypted. It's good to go. So yeah, it's a super comprehensive platform. Good question. Do about 5 more minutes, guys. And again, I just want to remind you that we literally just a few minutes ago, we launched our memberships feature of this YouTube channel for even just a few dollars a month. You're going to get access to our exclusive Q&A calls. So I'm going to actually be doing away with these Q&A calls that are public and just doing Q&A calls for my community and my subscribers. So, or sorry, my membership members. So not just for all subscribers. I'll still be making free content, regular YouTube videos. You'll still have access to all the old videos and the upcoming videos. But again, if you want access to things like this, these live Q&A calls, as well as our Slack channel, just exclusive for the community, then joining memberships is exactly what you want to do next. And just as a reminder, to get started, all you got to do is just head to our channel and click join. There's a little join button. I'll put the link to the channel here. You can just open up the channel in another tab and then click join, and we'll be good to go. So super excited to get that going. Abanti says you should pitch business courses for grad programs. None of my professors have ever talked about private practice. There's a funny story to this, Abanti. I've tried. And the reason why my career exists, and I do this full time, I teach therapists about business full time, is because professors refuse to offer it. We're one of the few service professions that doesn't do any business training. Dentists, chiropractors, all sorts of people, they get at least some business training, right? How to set up a business, a legal entity, how to do the accounting for your business, a bit about marketing, setting your fees, working with insurance. We get none of that. So that's created a massive industry and opportunity for people like me who jumped in and started helping therapists with business. So ironically, I also have about half of a PhD in counselor education, and my research and my work was around teaching therapists about business, preparing counselors to be good business owners. And it didn't go very well. A lot of professors and faculty were not very receptive to it. A lot of them, didn't like the idea. They thought counselors shouldn't be focused on business. They should be focused on counseling, right? Or that new counselors should only focus on clinical stuff. They're not ready to learn about business. But I obviously disagree. I think it's wonderful that people like you are getting ahead of the curve and learning about business. And it's actually a great complement to your clinical work. And it's a good break from your clinical work. It could help reduce burnout. It could just help you be a really effective and also wealthy therapist for years to come if you get some decent business training. So I'm just lucky that that's what I do, and that's kind of what I'm here for. So yeah, maybe I'll try again to pitch it to programs, or maybe you can pitch it for me to your program and see if I can teach a business course, because I would kill to do that. I'd be over the moon to do that. Yeah. Maria says, I'm having a hard time finding the join on your channel. Perhaps it'll work on my laptop. Yeah, maybe, or you might have to refresh YouTube if you want to find it. Otherwise, yeah, definitely open up our channel on your desktop if you can. And that's probably the easiest way to join the channel. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can do it from mobile yet. Probably not. So definitely opening it up on your desktop would be the way to go. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, guys, these Q&A calls will come to an end pretty soon as we just shift to offering them toward our paid members, and that's starting at $4.99 a month. So really, really affordable stuff. Again, if you've gotten any value out of this and and want to continue getting value and getting coaching from me, then joining our membership feature of YouTube is the next thing to do. For reference, most of my coaching programs that I offer through Private Practice Workshop are starting at least $450 a month for a weekly mastermind group. So $450 a month versus $499 a month, $5 a month. Hopefully you see that it's a great opportunity to get in at this pricing, and over time I'll increase the pricing for this membership for this channel. So definitely lock in that pricing if it's something that you want to do. Yeah. So there you go, guys. We're right at 30 minutes. I hope this was helpful. Again, I hope you'll join the channel. I'm really excited to announce it to you guys. And yeah, otherwise I look forward to seeing you soon. I'll probably do at least another one of these for all people, for all subscribers of the channel. And then again, just going to keep encouraging you guys to hop over and jump into our paid membership so I can keep serving you guys. Yeah. Amber says, I feel so VIP on live with you. I will join the membership. That's awesome. Thank you, Amber. I'd love to work with you and love to have you in the membership. You and Maria will be my founding members. You can help me create it and help me make it a total success. So that's pretty cool. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you again. Again, we just released a new video about insurance versus cash pay practices. So go to our main channel just to learn more about that if you want. And yeah, until next time, thanks again for being here, guys. And I'll see you soon. And for those of you who are jumping into the membership, I will see you inside and see you in our next exclusive members only Q&A. Thanks again. See you guys soon. Bye.